Alright, bit of backstory. Getting deja vu here from the Berserker video I did the other day. Bit of backstory. The idea of Season 2 was to do like one game or two games a day and just show you the better of them. Then I ended up fishing out, looking for other builds. I ended up really enjoying the Berserker and I kind of went ham on it, played loads. Got bored of the Berserker. Cycled through some other stuff, which are the videos you've seen recently, and now I'm over on Mesmer, and I'm addicted to the Mesmer, the Mesmer build that we're about to look at today. I love this Mesmer build a lot more than the Berserker one, because while the Berserker one blatantly has massive deficiencies and flaws, on the Mesmer build, you kind of don't have that, so I don't feel like I'm dragging teams down when you actually get genuinely good queues, and I've had a fair few of them. Today's game, we're actually looking at a Plat 2 queue, and we'll see how it goes. This is North America. And so, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Split Surge Mesmer right here at the start of the video after I've played countless matches. I think I've played maybe 50 to 75 games of this build, all in a period of about 48 hours, which is like lunacy. It's crazy. In fact, I'm gold capped at the moment. You'll see at the end. I'm actually gold capped. I've hit diminishing returns for PvP, which flares up a bit of the user interface you guys may have never seen before, which we'll see at the end. All right, so yeah, I'm also quite tired, but I really am excited to talk to you guys about this. So what is this build? It's a great sword Mesmer build, where what you're doing is not actually shattering that much. You're taking advantage of being a Mirage and accessing the ambush on the greatsword. So what does the ambush do? Well, when you trigger it, gives you a little bit of might, but it also has high base damage, it's 3 packets, and it's AoE. So if you trigger this over like a downstate body when someone's trying to res, you'll hit the body really hard and the reser really hard. What's really nice about it as well is if the reser is behind the body, your laser beam that's aiming at the guy will cleave the body as well. So the body will get hit by one laser beam and then the other laser beam. And if there's another guy in your position, you can get like triple cleave. So it's really, really nuts, okay? So it's not a burst build. It's actually a lot closer to like a Scourge or some kind of more significant team fighter. Now, it's still very flighty and it's not going to be able to support a Firebrand and receive support from a Firebrand like a Scourge or a Reaper can. So don't get me wrong, those builds are still very, you know, definitive in what they do. But this is a really big powerhouse. I swear to God, of the 50 to 75 games, I think maybe all of them except 4 or 5... I got top damage on this build. Like, always pull in, and obviously the duration of the game determines how much you'll get. But in terms of percentages, nearly always pull in 25% to as high as 45% of the damage on my group. This is ranked queuing during NA during the day, and obviously we're not talking about high-level queues or anything, but, you know, this is the general experience. So anyway, I want to show you how it plays, why I'm having so much fun on it. And we'll go on in. Sorry, I just need to mute that there. All right, so we'll move on in. At the open here, I decided to go for close. This isn't a perfect game, by the way. I've got tons. Every single one of them I've recorded, and I'm about to delete them all from the hard drive. There's a lot of cool little moments where I've seen ridiculous, silly stuff, but I just want one basic game here to show you guys how things are looking. So yeah, I'm picking up close here. And this isn't necessarily a good play. But as the Mesmer queuing in, people are always just kind of expecting me to do it. Now, why they're expecting me to do it is because of Portal. And you'll notice on my bar here, I do not have portals. So let's talk about the build just a little bit here. The build is not meta-optimal for ATs or whatever, because if you're going to run a Mesmer, you should utilize Portal. And if you're running a Mesmer that's not using Portal, well, why not just fill that role with something else? So you can run Portal on this build. This third slot, in theory, you could slop it in, but only if you're 100% confident you don't have any Condi against you. And here's the thing, guys. Even fighting power builds, right? Like Reapers, like Hollows, like Thieves. This cleanse is super potent. It will rip the immob off if you're against a Hollow that would get you killed seconds later. It will cleanse the weakness so you can counter pressure Thieves. It will cleanse you of Chill, which will allow you to kite better away from Reapers and just deny a lot of their trait synergies. So having the cleanse here, it's not just anti-Condi builds, but this is essential for anti-Condi builds as well. If you're queuing against like a Burn Guardian or any of the other Mesmer varieties right now, everyone's on Axe Pistol Condi at the moment with Mesmer builds. If you're fighting against any of those without this skill here, or some kind of Condi cleanse in this slot, and my favorite right now is the Mantra, you're dead. But with it, you can win these matchups. Like, this build can win against Hollows, can win against Thieves, can win against Necros, absolutely, can win against other Mesmers, as long as you use a bit of space. And so I picked Coliseum here because this is a great... nice flat open field to show that this is a more tricky build to play in maps like Forest. And if you guys are getting a bit bored because I'm talking so much about the build, trust me, it's a really fun, weird kind of experience for the build as well, which I'll get into in a second. Okay, so anyway, I come here just because the team will probably want me here, and it's not too bad. I've got a bit of mobility, right, with the jaunt. I was trying for ages to get mass invis on the build, guys. So hard. I love mass invis. I wanted like that team play potential, and really all I can do is like cleanse some allies and do a lot of fancy stuff to rares and to stomp and, you know, counter cleave and stuff. But I really wanted mass invis, and it's just so much better with jaunt because of one of our traits for clone generation, which we'll get to. Anyway, so yeah, we cap that. We come in. What are we looking at? Well, the health of our allies. We see that we have a Reaper over here who's just used his elite. So I need to go very slowly here. So we started on our Scepter Torch. And yes, this is a power scepter build. It's so amazing, guys. So basically, I was looking at a few different Mesmer builds when I was trying to queue on Deadeye, right? You know, the start of this whole thing when I started playing so much of this. And I saw a few variants people were running with, but the one that interested me most was there was a person who was actually running a Chrono build with a Scepter main hand, and they were using like time catches up and stuff. It was not a very good build, and I tried out my interpretation of it. Didn't like it very much, but I did like the Scepter. The Scepter 3, though you may think of it as a Condi thing, hits really hard. So yeah, we've got that for main hand. The other thing is the sword main hand does give you good mobility, so there's a lot going for it, and the Blurred Frenzy can be alright, but I actually think that now that I've learned Scepter really well, it's definitely the superior weapon. It really is, and hopefully over the next couple of Game of the Days I can convince you guys of that. This is such a good kite weapon and such a good like finish off weapon, as you will all see very soon. Anyway, we're on the Scepter Torch right now just to execute a bit of stealth on ourselves. We move forward, and also as soon as we get into 1200 range, which we're well in here, I can also pre-cast the 5. So if I cast the 5, what will happen here is an illusory mage of mine will spawn here, as you can see. Then when we weapon swap to the great swords, what the mage will do is after it executes its attack, become a clone. And at the moment it becomes a clone, what kind of clone will it be? Will it be a torch clone? Well, there's no such thing, right? So it reads from us, and because we're on greatsword, even though I spawned this from the Scepter set, because we are now on Greatsword, this will come out as a Greatsword clone. And the entire idea of this build is juggling and maintaining Greatsword clones so that when I use my ambush, I share the Mirage Cloak to him because it's Infinite Horizon build, and he will use Spatial Surge too. The Scepter ambush on a power build isn't as good. It's still alright, but it's nowhere near as good, right? So this is the whole game, right? We're trying to get up 3 of these, and rather than shatter, and we will shatter them, it's a big part of the build, but rather than shattering them, what we're going to do is keep juggling ambushes and dodges on ourselves and cleaving the hell out of stuff. With 4 of these split surges coming in all at once every single time we do it. So yeah, that's the idea. I've just cast the torch, but then while he's out, before he actually turns into a clone, he's still just a mage for now, I swapped to Greatsword. Now we're on Greatsword, what else can we do? Well, at 1200 range as well, we can use our main Phantasmal Berserker skill. So we cast this. This is taking Imagined Burdened. This is such a fun build, guys, because it's got so many new build things that have come in over the recent years. Like, that's not plural, year. So this only used to summon 1 Berserker, but it now summons 2. So this is really good for the clone generation. You don't care that the actual impact of the illusion, the phantasms, is lowered, because what you actually care about is the clones afterwards as much as anything else. Anyway, this will rocket through. It will put a bit of cripple out, which is good for the sigil that I'm running. The sigils I've got exactly at the moment are Separation, which is 5% damage while we're far away, and also I can't remember what it's called. Exploitation, maybe? The one that means that if they've got chill or cripple or immobile, whatever on them, we do 5% more damage as well. So those are the two sigils, which together will stack to a full 10%, because this build gives us cripple on the greatsword abilities as we cast them. So that's the idea there for the sigils. For the scepter, I'll show you the sigils I've got there when we swap to actually in a fight. And then the runes, really important here as well. Super important. This is a Lynx rune build. Lynx runes. Don't go scholar or anything silly like that. You want that 25% movement speed. Lynx runes are amazing, and especially on this build where you actually put out a ton of accidental bleed, and also on your scepter you put out a lot of torment and a lot of confusion. The condi even from that can be nice, especially with the might. You can build a ton of might while you're cleaving stuff, because that's what Split Spurge does, and then you've suddenly got all this might with the runes as well. It's funny, guys. This is actually one build, seriously, the only build I've ever in my life considered running a destroyer amulet on, just for fun and not as a real thing, you know, consistently, but you would get so much value out of every part of a destroyer amulet. And as a mesmer, you actually get a little bit of vitality, so you can sort of take that step down from marauders. Every single little bit of a destroyer would be nice there. Anyway, so back to the fight here. What have we got? Well, the mage is about to execute his ability, the two berserkers are about to execute their ability, and we're autoing here. So, next, I take the skill 2, which is the Mirror Blade. That will bounce another clone up, which we don't really care about that clone, to be honest. It's just for a bit of pressure. It's also unblockable, and it will bounce between the clone and the guys, so we get extra pressure from that. And then we rip a boon here with the skill 3. And then what we do, you'll notice most greatsword builds at this point will shatter. I have not shattered. I've left the stuff up. Now, here's a really big thing. We want to keep... You haven't seen them attack yet or anything, but the whole idea is to keep these guys up. So when we dodge roll, we share the illusionary cloak over to them, which we actually want to use defensively. So it's really kind of fun, weird, minion-y feeling build here, where this Reaper's going ham, and the main counter to this build is counter cleave, right? If you're ever fighting against a build like this, you just kill the clones and it destroys the pressure. So what I actually have to do is intelligently dodge based on what my enemy is doing to save my stuff. It's particularly really good when you're fighting spellbreakers and you watch their full counter, and you could be at 1200 range, but you dodge their full counter from range just to make sure none of your stuff dies, which is likely to be on the node over there. So anyway, yeah, we leave them up, and this is exactly what I do. You see all the evades I spam here? We do this, but then that, of course, unlocks our ambush split surge, which we trigger here and do some pressure. Now, unfortunately, I've come behind the pillar. So while split surging, I've also cast this ability here. So this is Illusory Ambush. This is an amazing skill. It's so fun. What it will do is pick a random area around our target that we will teleport to, and it can be a huge variance. That we can teleport to, and it will also give us an ambush. So I dodge to give us an ambush, and then I summon this. Now, one of our traits is whenever we use an ambush ability, we summon something new. So can you see where we were stood a second ago? We get another clone of ourselves, which will split surge too. So we actually have the full combo now. We've got 4 different things. Myself plus 3 clones, all split surging at once on this poor guy that doesn't even really know what's hit him here. So yeah, we force him through all of his shroud there. He starts pulling away. We jaunt forwards. That summons another again. And it's actually nice doing this. So there's a big thing with jaunt on this build, which is you spam it at your feet to reset the clone's positions to your feet. Because quite often they'll get LOS'd and they'll move into nodes and things and just instantly die. So you can use Jaunt to hold them back because they have 1200 range like you. And this map's really good for this, right? So anyway, we just keep pressuring. I throw another Mirror Blade out. But he's gone way too deep, and obviously my team's dying, okay? So this isn't very good right now. We obviously are in a bit of a pickle here, so I can't go too hard. I retarget to the Engineer. Now, one thing that's very cool about the build is if I have Illusionary Ambush up, and then I use it on the Engineer, they will all retarget to the Engineer, and we can suddenly have all this ramp out of nowhere and just blow them up. So yeah, we see. So there you go. That was a good split surge. We AoE them both, and we're doing a lot of pressure here through them both. They haven't cleaved any of my stuff just yet. We stay on this guy. So here, I can resummon, which means I'm going to get 2 more berserkers doing their damage, which is going to hit this guy really hard. But also it's going to summon 2 more clones. So at this point, I know it's very safe for me to just shatter. I could actually double shatter. We could remove boons with this and stuff as well, in theory. But I just go for a mind rack. So we're going to get 3 hits of mind rack, plus this next ambush, plus the double guys coming in here. And then all I have to do is jaunt once the guys reappear, and we've reestablished our position. So we just, you know, destroy this guy. The Deadeye here hasn't retargeted to me yet. I know it might feel like a lot's happened, but it really hasn't just yet. It's because there's so much for me to describe here. So a transfuse comes through. Oh, transfuse. That's dangerous, isn't it, guys? They can res through transfuse. Not likely. So we take another illusionary ambush. This time it puts us over here. This constantly gets me turned around in the games I play, by the way, as well. I jaunt in, which summons another clone. So here's what's important at this point, right? You're always trying to keep the clones up. So we've got 3, we've got 3, we've got 3. We go for the shatter, and we summon the 2, right? This guy should bring another one back. But if they're starting to die, which you saw here, they drop down, you have to juggle them back up. Because if you go to 0, your trait, which means you get a new clone every single time you use a deception, won't work anymore. You're reliant on getting the initial one from a Mirror Blade or from the Scepter set. And Scepter's amazing for generating that stuff, but they won't be greatsword ones necessarily. They're better for Shatter fodder, which I can talk about later. But, yeah, you want to refresh that as soon as possible. So here I'm jaunting in. It also has the added benefit of moving me onto the body, so I can use my Greatsword 5 and I can use Diversion to interrupt. So I do divert and I get an interrupt there. We go for the Mirror Blade for some bounce pressure, but he's already up here, unfortunately. So they do get the res. So actually that cleave wasn't very good there from me. I mean, we've done some pretty good damage here. Back to a Torch. So if we swap back to Scepter Torch, what this is kiting away 1v1s, engaging, and getting a final kill. So the Scepter 3 is really the big finisher. This thing can hit for 14,000 damage over a tiny little window. So the 2 sigils I have on this set are energy, to guarantee that I can get an ambush. I'll talk about that in a second. But also agility. So you can get a quickness cast of the 3, very similar to if you're a Necro and you go for the quickness cast on the Axe 2, for example. So agility is really, really good here. Now, why do I have energy? Well, energy because you can kite away a bit better. You can use the block on the skill 2 here, but you can also execute a dodge roll. And here's the thing. Imagine I have 3 clones up, right? And my target's a little bit low. If I weapon swap and then dodge roll while casting a quickness skill 3, the enemy can't counter that in any way because I'm dodging. But not only will I slam with a 14,000 damage, extremely heavy hitting thing here, all of my guys will split surge at the same time too. And that's like instantly just remove a downstate body from the board straight away. So that's why we have energy there, just to be sure that we can actually get that the dodge roll during the Scepter 3. I'm probably being a bit preemptive here, and I should talk a bit about it a bit different. So here you go. Here's a low Scourge. We take some pressure. We get a block, a non-crit, another non-crit, but it still goes to 6,700 damage. This is bad, by the way. My team just keeps wiping and dying. I've had the luxury of not being pressured too hard, but it's not good, and I know I need to leave soon. Here I'm still going for this Scourge. Oh, there's some beautiful kills you can get with this, guys. It's so flighty and horrible. It feels a lot like it feels very Deadeye-ish in a lot of ways. Anyway, so look, we're fully wiped, so I'm pulling back now. And I get very, very shocked because there's an enemy here, which is really strange. This is my spawn I'm returning to. So here I take the Distort, get a ton of invulns. So, alright, now here's the next thing. One of my other traits is Mirror on Dodge. This is such an amazing trait. Soul Beasts will kill themselves. Guardians with sword main hands will kill themselves. Hollows. This is one of the only reliable ways to kill Hollows on this build because Hollows are so deadly. Hollows are absurd. And they will Photon Blitz themselves and kill themselves, or they will use their Rifle 4s and hit themselves. This is so important, and learning this is so worthwhile. The problem there, unfortunately, though, is the Reflects have caused me to reveal myself out of my Torch 4. So, I will, again, just say, I've been so addicted and enjoying this so much. You're actually watching gameplay where I haven't slept very much, and I've just been playing a lot. So, yeah, there'll be lots of little misplays and things, which we can iron out over the upcoming days. So anyway, Deadeye, who I really should have hit much harder for a lot longer. He selfs. This is kind of fun. His early stealth means that my guys won't do anything because they don't know where to go or what to do. It has to be very precise timing for that to land. But we see this here. I don't know if you guys can pick that up. Let's go back here. So watch, this is my ally, all right? So this is a Necro. And watch near the Necro's feet. I'm looking left because I know the thief is around, right? And what is this here? I guess it was near this guy as well. Maybe it was the Hollow. But I see the little stealth reveal thing there, and it looks like, amazingly, this guy's realized the Deadeye's probably staying as well. And you'll also notice we're still in combat. So I run back, and oh, look, here's the Deadeye. Unfortunately, all my major stuff's on cooldown, though, because I just used it while he was in stealth. Nonetheless, we can still go for one split surge, and we can weapon swap into the 3. So there you go. There's an example. We hit 13 there. Also, we take a dodge roll. And the spawning guy here, this is our base, by the way, so it's really weird to be attacked from here. The ranger comes in. I got an evade, which procced a mirror, and all this pressure that I'm doing here, this is just from the mirror trait. Your choice with the mirror trait is to run either that or blind on shatter. And I see that the blind on shatter has a lot of merit. It really does. But I think by and large, at the moment, with the game where it is right now, the projectile mitigation is the best way to go. So here he's Signet of Stone. We can't really do anything just yet. He stealths out. I take the illusory wave just to sort of try and aim for a blind knockback. We see the pets moving over there though, which means the ranger's moving over there. So we're just watching to see, make sure nobody else is coming. We go forwards. You can see that there's a low hollow here. He's in S, so we don't want to do anything just yet. And my team's getting back. So a good little bailout in mid there, which has afforded us something. Again, we illusory ambush, and this takes us to a beautiful position up around here. And we can cleave this body. And so here we're trying to rally, and we don't manage to get the rally. So it was very, very close, but no cigar, not fully there. We take the, so there we took the Torch 4, which immediately revealed us, but this will still explode around us in a few seconds, so we can still use that for pressure if we want. He's in Desert Shroud that now, though, so I'm not going to. And so, yeah, we'll just keep doing our pressure, staying away. We're not being hit by anyone so far. And so here you can see us sort of nuking that body nice and quick. We get another Necro coming in. So he takes his Axe 3 on me through the pillar, which is great. Good little play from him. I take my Greatsword 5 on him through the pillar. And his Axe 3 put 3 conditions on us. Cripple, chill, and something else. Possibly weakness, I don't know. But they're really annoying, and this is what I'm talking about. I cleanse those with the mantra there, which is super nice. Take a quick little jaunt off to the sides. Try and get on my team's target. Try and focus these down as best as I can. And now I notice that the Necro I was toying with is going up towards the buff. This is going to be really annoying for him to get to the buff, though. And what I'm hoping, and it's a bit of RNG here, but when he arcs round up the ramp here, I can be under the ramp and I can illusory ambush, and I can win a 1v1. Even in close quarters like that, I can win a 1v1 on this build very comfortably against a Necro. So we take the preemptive stealth. He won't even know we're coming. And we press the button, and the RNG does not favor us there. So now it's really dangerous, because I don't get up. I can't interrupt him picking up the artifact. And if he gets it, it will close the gate on me, and I'll be locked out of the map, which is a very cool mechanic. I want to see ArenaNet play with this a little bit more in other Conquest things. So anyway, I now have to run and book it back through here. Funny thing here, this guy's noticed me and watched very closely. So he point-blank shots, and I can take an evade and put a mirror up. I guess we distorted first. We just go for some pressure. Here we can cleanse the poison and then heal if we so choose, or we can be more conservative about it. We stayed away. I think why I ran so far away here was because I was wondering. I didn't actually check whether it was sword or shield, and if it was sword, I think there was a real risk there. So, yeah, we got the pet on us. We see that our friend is on this guy, so we're going to be on this guy. He's triggering his elite, so we're going to stand just out of range of it. And we actually do get it. I always get scared with that on NA. We take the quickness again on the scepter, but we don't get any crits there. Which is not a big deal on this build, by the way. This build has so many packets of damage. You really don't feel like crit RNG is a big thing at all. You can just keep... Like, this is the beautiful thing. You can just keep hounding people down, and they can't get away. That just keeps refreshing cripple on them. It's such a grindy build to fight against. So we pull out of his expanding AoE. We are very aware that we are in front of their spawn right now here. So we kill him. I saw a player here a second ago, but now we don't see anyone. So we stealth forwards, port, and we see that he's just leaving. So the stealth means that we get free decap here. The enemy team's been pretty much in the lead the whole time up until now. Now with this, I'm kind of greeding here. I'm greeding for the third node. You might say, well, WP, you should go back and actually support the mid engagement, and you might be right to say that. However, I know it's a Necro on respawn, and I mean, on all these open fields, it's impossible he's going to kill me. So, you know, I can just fold through with this. So you see a nice little Reaper fight here. This is one of the reasons I wanted to show this match. So we start with the 5. He spinal shivers me from... I don't agree with running focus, guys. He's running focus. Focus is a boon rip that does more damage the more boons the opponent has. So why are you opening the fights with this? I could cleanse that if I want. We hold the 2. The 2 will actually hit a reasonable packet of damage if we counter him with it. We can also double tap this to create a clone. And much like with the mage, if I weapon swap in time, it becomes a thing. If I double tap this becomes a clone now. This is one of the new updates I was talking about. So while the projectile is in transit, I can weapon swap and I get another split surge clone again. So you can do that. This also has double generation now if you procs it. So if he attacks me into this, I can instantly mind rack, swap, and then just regenerate my stuff through, you know, any of my 3 utility skills that are deceptions. Anyway, he doesn't attack into it. So we hold our range here. So rookie mistake here. He's trying to neutralize. He will never win. This is like... I think one of the reasons I really enjoy this, guys, is because this is a lot like playing FA, except you get more range on your attacks, you get more range on your blinks, you get more health to play with, you get... It's just everything but better. Like, almost everything. The only thing that you maybe are missing is, like, a high-impact elite. Everything else, you've got more access, immediate access to CCs and to stealth and to invulns and stuff. I mean, it's kind of a sign of sad balance, to be honest. So anyway, here we go. He comes in, and we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for his Shroud and him to come in. But never fear, we have 2 super awesome cooldowns to flee with. So we just have to press one of these. I go with Illusory Ambush, and it will pick a random place. But his pick, and if you get really bad RNG, that might be kind of terrible, which might be a good reason to do this first, because then you can blink out to safety afterwards. But yeah, so we click it, it puts us on the node, which we don't care about. But look, now we're all the way over here. What this has also done is broken his targeting on us. So you can get a lot of really nice kills after doing this. We're at full ramp right now, and look at where everyone's spread out to. All I have to do is let go of WAS and D, and he won't actually know which one's the real one, not easily. So I can just let go and do that. Here I'm strafing slightly, so he will know, and he's tipped off. He comes towards me. We blink away the second he gets close, and he's out of Shroud now, guys. He's got nothing. The Fear Wall's really kind of fun. The Fear Wall will actually stop some of my stuff. And here at the last moment, Deadeye's here. So obviously this was the risk of coming here. But never fear, we can chain invulns. Look at this distort here. Look at this ridiculous distort time. And all the mirrors as well. Here's another really fun thing about the build. Walking back into your mirrors to chain stuff. Like, I had such a cool Skyhammer game against reasonable players, right? And just chaining the mirrors into no kite spots. And then, oh, it was just so good. It feels really good to combine, like, map territory control and also mirrors that you place for yourself around. Because we get one out of our heal as well. So, yeah, we invuln the hell up. We stealth and we leave. Despite having been jumped by a Deadeye there. Don't forget as well, I drop a... Okay, so a Mirage mirror is different to the mirror buff, okay? I also dropped the reflection mirror buff on myself. So anyway, now we've got reinforcements. I can come back in, utilizing the greatsword stuff a bit early. Straight over to the Deadeye. So the Deadeye's got a reasonable amount of health. No one's on him. We're going to press skill 4 and kill him. So, yeah, you can see that I would not describe this as a burst build in any way, but it's that thing of if other people are running burst builds, then they are susceptible to being bursted by stuff that really isn't. You know, this is not that conventional precast and mirror blade, pour in, use your daze mantra at the same time, all that nonsense. Like, it's nowhere near as gimmicky as that. It's actually, I think, a lot more brain dead in some ways than that. But there's a lot of fun things to think about. Anyway, so yeah, we take a quick peek back to spawn just to be sure, and now we're in the fight here. So we want to take this Necro out. We grind him down. Not getting too much AoE potential right now. Finish him off with the Scepter 3, as I talked about there. So he eats a 7k Scepter 3 there. Looking back to the spawn again to make sure that the Deadeye's not coming. The Deadeye's the scary one, obviously. And I realized, you know, we're in a 3v2 here. One of my guys died. we're not actually going to be able to do anything here, realistically. So I'm hiding behind the boxes and just getting ready to leave. And this is why I like Mass Invis. I want Mass Invis so bad. But listen, Jaunt is Condi Cleanse, which is super necessary. A bit of mobility, which is nice. But also, that ability to jaunt, to generate more phantasms and clones, is excellent. So here you notice I jaunted and I didn't get one. That's because, as I've explained, you need at least one up already, either from our auto chain, from the skill 2, the flip on the skill 2, or over on the mirror blade. And because I don't have any there, or our phantasms too, right? We don't. So anyway, I can drop a torch 5 behind me, and that'll daze and hit him really hard. And then what I can do, you can do really cheesy stuff here with this as well. Watch. They're chasing me. I know that there's a risk of a Deadeye and stuff, but they're not going to want to outnumber this forever, right? So I'm confident enough with the stealth. I turn around, and I'm not going for a kill. I proc Illusory Ambush. And we know that what Illusory Ambush is going to do is put us in a circle around the target. Illusory Ambush, I don't know if we'll see it in this game, but is in many ways like the longest port in the game that's not Portal. Because if you are at 1200 range and you cast it on an enemy, and then you get good RNG and it places you on the far side of that enemy, you've gone 1200 range to him, and then plus another, 300 or whatever it is on the other side. And you kind of see that a little bit here. You notice I come out right over here by the pillar. We take the stealth and the cleanse immediately so we can move. And look, they're like, oh god, where do we go? So they do come back here, and I think this is actually a big mistake of mine, and I do die here. A bit silly. We take no, we couldn't distort there. So here I'm going for LOS behind the pillar, and it's looking really kind of bad, to be honest. I need more cleanse. I'm standing still because the torment will kill me. This will cleanse every single Condi on activation, so we get that. And now what we want to do is like spam it a bit more or something. But he actually knocks me out with the vampirism. When you see you die and it's a skull here, that isn't the major trait, which gives this vampiric presence. It's the minor blood trait, which is another version of vampirism, which doesn't get shared. And yeah, so he killed me with that. So it was a silly idea, but it demonstrates a concept which can be extremely powerful. And allow you to do the cheesiest, most ridiculous stuff. And honestly, you might be watching this and sort of scrunching your eyes together and thinking, your eyebrows together and thinking, it seems a bit RNG and a bit silly to me, but it's really not. Here, this is kind of not, you might think that the RNG is too bad, but the RNG works out more often than not, you actually find. Anyway, sorry, so here's a funny little thing. He's leaving and I'm dead, obviously, right? We summon the rogue and we get 3,700 on his barrier. So I pop this because I know he's walked far enough away, and I'm gambling just for another rogue here, right? And it actually works perfect. Watch this. So I stop now because it's irrelevant. He hasn't hit me or anything. Obviously, I'm going to die. But what I want to do is precast the rogue so it'll backstab him. And it lands like a treat. We're getting 11k. I mean, this is absurdly overpowered as well. Like, what the hell, man? 11,000 damage. And now what I really want is my guys at mids who are just sitting on the nodes to watch for reinforcements and people coming in. So do you see how I ping here? Because I really want them to be on the ball. Well, I need to rebind that other thing where you can not just ping, but make that like attack sound or whatever it is. Or that res sound and whatnot. The context-based one. But yeah, the Necro is just standing there doing nothing. So he lets him fully heal, whatever. So, yeah, anyway, they get into a fight. And, yeah, I do unfortunately die there. But it's through my own stupidity. So we see what the 1v1 is we want to push. So it's a hollow. Now, hollows are horrendously scary. They will mash you up. They will this is a marauder amulet. They will destroy you. So we go for the classic. It's all about keeping that gap. All about keeping the gap. And I'm kind of happy here because I noticed this guy is on a thumper turret, which is not standard at all at the moment. And I also know we can cleave that down like instantly, so it's not going to be of any value to him. There you go, it's already dead. But we're going to stay away. He can still kill us really easily. So I think he's going to charge me, and I use the ambush here. So the ambush is really good because it summons a new clone. It gives us the mirror, unleashing another split surge, and it's the port. So it's like 3 things rolled into one, as a stun break. So we pull back again. You can see we just keep hounding down. And you might not think I'm doing that much pressure, but honestly, every time we basically press dodge, we will chunk him down a significant amount as long as we have our stuff up. So Mirror Blade to get another guy. He evades it. So now he's kind of behind the boxes because he knows he's dead. He has to, on this map, he has to do that. Either he chases me towards my spawn, and it's very risk, but high reward, he could kill me, or he has to hide behind that. And hiding behind that is fine, as far as I'm concerned, because what it means is I can come and decap. Now, you saw I waited a while to do that. That's because what I was actually doing was standing where my heal skill was to pick up the mirror. And what the mirror will do is tell the AI of my clones that they want to use Split Surge, and it will move them in. So this is the LOS I was talking about when you're fighting against this build. LOS spots are amazing. One, because it's just a nightmare to cast the Greatsword 4. And if you miss Greatsword 4, if it gets obstructed or something, you're screwed, right? So that's the first reason LOS is a really good counter. But also, you literally, just like in a dungeon, you pull all the clones in, and then you can just kill them there. And it really, that is the main way of fighting back against this. So that's what he does there. We can obviously use our spatial... No. What's this called? I can't remember. Mind Stab. We can take the Mind Stab through the crates. And now the plan is just to bail out again. Obviously, I'm not going for full cap. But, and here, this is beautiful, we don't have to do it straight away. We dodge first, as we see he comes in Photon Forge. So you see the Forge is up. We take the dodge roll. And look, he even uses the 2 early. If he'd used the 2 late, I would have had to have bailed. But he uses the 2 early, so this tips us off that a Photon Blitz is coming. So the second he does that, we evade right on the first projectile, the Photon Blitz. So immediately it gives us the mirror. All the rest of them get reflected. And look at the pressure we do to him there. Because we even spatial surge him as well. So he's immediately down. He went as low as 25% health there from daring to walk at me. And now he's been knocked into S, and he can't do anything. S, cancel cast his elite. And now he's in the dead zone, so we can just shatter and kill him. And I mean, look at this. You can dodge roll when stomping. You get just so... Mirage is obscene. So anyway, the Deadeye's here. I'm happy to do this. We can take their staggered 1v1s here. So the Deadeye pulls back, and he's going to be in stealth for a long time. I'm not too scared of Deadeyes because, again, you just do the first dodge, and a lot of them kill themselves. So, I'm going to come to the pillar here, though, because I don't really have too much endurance. We don't care about full cap in that, right? It's about winning. So, I stealth towards the pillar, and I'm coming out here because I'm hoping to just accidentally tag him. Now, if I see I get reveal on me from that, it means I hit him. But I don't. So, I just come to this pillar. And right now, we've got a stealth Deadeye. We're still in combat, so he could be here lining up a shot. He could be behind me lining up a shot. So I don't really know the best thing to do, but I think this is good. Just move erratically, hugging a wall. So here, I'm here, and then I'm going to this side, and then... Because this is just so annoying for him. Because he's got to, like... If he wants to move, he's got to actually blow stuff, like Shadow Step and whatnot, to actually get around, right? So yeah, you just move a really, really kind of ugly way, and you can't do anything. Now I notice I've broken combat, and I have an ally here anyway, so I push forward. Our team's just about taking the lead here at this point. So he's up here. So you can pre-cast the Greatsword 4 into a blink, which is what I do all the time. Very aggressive opening. It's very similar on a lot of these builds. You can do something like this. You know, I'll often pre-cast a Gale or whatnot. We try and stay on the initial target. He gets CC'd. Pretty messy, honestly, here. I get knocked back by this Wyvern, and I don't know how. And then I get knocked back by him again. Both Wyvern abilities. So, God. Anyway, so now it's pretty dangerous. We got the Scourge on us. And look at this. This 2 Burn and Torment. This is nasty, guys. But you just pop the Mantra and you're out of there. It's so nice. In the stealth. He gets his Torch 5, and I miss the Oppressive Collapse. So, here we go. There's using Illusory Ambush to peel out, right? So, let's watch this again. I've just rewound ever so slightly. I get hit with the Oppressive Collapse. I don't have my Mantra up, so I know I'm going to get Condi Cleaved hard. He's going to use his 4, and it's not going to be very nice, right? So, what I do is I currently have target on the Necro. I change target. You see my mouse here? I change target to the Thief, Illusory Ambush, and I've gone from all the way over there to over here. And I'm in position to kill the Thief. My guy goes down. We throw some random haze out. The Thief died here. Got instantly transfused over there. I wasn't really to know. What we can do is Mirror Blade, which will put a clone on there, and then we can immediately divert. Or we can just use Spatial Surge and stuff. And you'll see here that the Mirror Blade bounced and killed the guy. Get big pressure over that body there. Get another one. We don't even have all of our stuff up right now. I could have jaunted at my own feet for that. The Hollow's here and I'm scared. So we just pull back a bit. And here we're just cleaving through. He gets 50% damage reduction in that. And we just kind of cleave through it all. The Scepter 3 finishes him off there. Refresh our cleanse mantra. It's already back. And so now we, we've kind of got our double cap because this guy's going to rotate back. And I decide, all right, I'll go for some 1v1s. I'll push far. It's okay. I would love to have Portal here as well. I'd like the build's strong enough, right? If I had like massive Viz and Portal on this somehow and it all still worked really well, it would just be so ridiculous. But yeah, so I take the decap. I see that my guy's going aggressive, so I will too. So we stealth up. We go to the Great Swords. So this Scourge here, one of the reasons I wanted to show you this was this is one of the better Scourges, in my opinion. Because he actually aggressed. So here oh yeah, this is evade frames as well. Sorry, so you use it for evade frames quite often too. So yeah, he aggresses me here really well. And unfortunately in the 2v2, my friend is no longer on him. My friend went to the node and thought that was more important. So it's their 1v1 and my 1v1. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like it's my mistake, and I'm willing to believe it. If someone wants to say in the comments that it's my mistake, but I'm very footloose with nodes. I'm very footloose. And I don't know, maybe I should just immediately go over and always just watch what they go for. But come on, the Scourge is the target. If I walk over there, the Scourge is just going to haze the both of us, or him. It's not a good idea, I don't think, to hit that guy over a neutral node. We've got a good lead anyway. Even if we weren't in the lead, I would want it this way. I don't know. Anyway, we knock him back, and the Scourge is hitting me well here. He's doing very good. We get the interrupt with the mage and use that to jaunt out, cleanse a Condi at the same time. And look at how masterfully he sand swells forward as well. And he can sand swell back through as well. We take a full-on port all the way over here. And now we're kind of scared of using this. This will summon another thing and give us a good thing, but we don't want to go too close to him. The Hollow is now retargeted to me as well, so I'm going to have to, and we're going to have to hope we go into good place. Spend the time to get the mantra up. Utilize the ambush to move in the other direction. Don't forget that breaks targeting, so there's always a moment of hesitation where they don't quite know where to go. Use the line of sight here and the Scepter 2 for a free block. Get our heal. Now, the idea here is, even if we get hit by the oppressive collapse, we're going to stand here and we're going to pick up the mirror that the heal drops before we move on. So there it is. Stand to the side, Scepter 3, get rid of the last of his shroud. He's getting hit by a lot of our stuff here now. And, he's on empty now. And I can keep going, to be honest. I'm back onto Great Sword. We can roll this out. And my ally has come out to support. So we do lose the node. But look, now we just kill the guy that's standing here for no reason, right? Like, come on. This was the play, right? Anyway, so yeah, he comes up. We kill him. There's probably nothing really that exciting to talk about here. We make sure we stay out of range of the wall. We force him into S. While he's in S, we look back at their spawn to make sure that nobody's coming. Kill him with the Scepter. And then straight back to where they're coming out of gate. For, like, the intercept. To make sure that they can't do anything. So this guy's running back in. I immediately Mirror Blade. And I think he's probably rage quitting out now. I mean, he's probably in a really difficult position. Because it feels like you might be able to win still. But trickling in alone. What he really needed was his Hollow to get away somehow. Or help him more in the 2v2. I'd be really mad at the Hollow, to be honest, if I was in that 2v2. So, open field, we could just pressure this guy. I want to make a very clear point as well. There's no artifact in play right now. The sword is only just spawning at the moment. The shield no one's claimed. It's not that this is like Coliseum Snowball. I mean, I think it is a little bit because of the Coliseum Prestige, which is a tiny bit of Snowball. But nothing too great. Here, I'm kind of concerned because my back is to their spawn, which isn't good. And we know that the NG was there. And we just take a regular shatter there to finish him off. There you go. We get another bit of Coliseum's Prestige. We come forward out of range there on the Great Sword. That would have been a very slight there. And yeah, we could just do the same thing again here for the win. Does this one have an exciting end? I feel kind of bad, guys, because there are honestly so many cool games. But I think this is a good one to start with, just to show you a little bit of what the build's like. And I can show you some really cool stuff as well, and good games as well coming up. But so yeah, like, you can see basically the point of it, right? It's not like your traditional bursty, shattery thing. It's just pressure, and then you kill someone. And I feel this playstyle very natural to me, and it just works very well. So we get the stomp for the end of the game. And yeah, there you go. I'll give you more Game of the Days on this coming up, I promise, because I'm really having fun with it. The stats in the end there, you'll see that of everyone on our team, I did 29% of the total damage. I don't know whether we have Core Guard here or Firebrand. I'm not sure which. But, you know, if this is a support, you'd expect everyone to be at 25%, really, because there's 4 of you. So, you know, even for that, we're well over the mark. If he's not a support, if he is a Core Guard, we're even further ahead. 14 kills. We had that unfortunate death from a bit of a stupid play. But here's the really weird thing. The true highlight of Split Surge. I noticed this little red dot down here. And, yeah, I don't ever really think of this. It's weird, guys, because since I started doing this, I just got 600 gold on my account now. And it's like, where did that come from? Oh, just PvPing. Yeah, daily coin cap reached for rank play. I did not know that appeared there. And I don't remember ever having that. But there it is. We still get our rank points and whatnot. There you go, guys. That's Split Surge. If you have any questions about the build or you want clarifications, just ask me in the comments because I'm really excited to share it with you all. Really, I made this just trying to piece together what I wanted out of a Mesmer build and then refining over the course of maybe 20 games to what I've now got here. And I don't know how popular the playstyle is. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.